Hello everybody, it's me, your boy Cryptid. With ZHU YUAN out, I need to know if she's worth pouring for and if it'll benefit my account and who else to turn to than my man Eango, the man, the myth, the legend. With his incredible wisdom, he will shine down upon me his knowledge and let me know if I should pull for ZHU YUAN. Let's get straight into it. I need to know.
Yellow Trailblazers, and welcome to my very first agent analysis for Zenless Zone 0. And the agent who will have the honor of being my very first analysis is ZHU YUAN, who I have
Everybody's
already
favorite.
put hours into testing and theory crafting with. So ZHU YUAN will be an ether attack agent who is part of the police faction. And while
Alright,
I think
sounds
this
good.
character looks really cool, and I also personally vibe with her nerdy personality, unfortunately from my analysis, I've just found ZHU YUAN to be woefully unreliable,
Oh no.
underpowered, underwhelming,
Oh no.
uncultured, uninspiring, unattractive, and just flat out unimpressive.
Oh no, don't say it ain't so. How could she be this bad, Yongo? How could she, a premium 5-star character, be bad? I mean, Ellen was good. Shouldn't they just get better from then on out? Tell me, how is she a bad character?
And because of this, I just recommend saving for the next agent, Ching Yi, instead, which you can start doing by using my coupon at lootbar.gg. Lootbar.gg is the best way to obtain the anime mobile gaming hose you need as efficiently as possible. It's highly secure, fast, but most
Okay,
game
okay. We'll
games
skip
doesn't
that.
fit the ordinary ways used. Before I get into ZHU YUAN's numbers, which are atrocious, let's just look at
Oh
this at a
no.
high level. And when doing this, we see that the second banner in Homoverse games is always very disappointing. In Genshin Impact, the second banner was Klee, who places very bad in the tier list, and then
Oh.
Child followed, who is powerful according to modern tier lists. But then in Hoyoverse's other game I'm more familiar
Oh,
with,
across his
Honkai
games?
Star Rail, the second banner was none other than Jim Yuan, who is one
Oh
of the
no.
worst trailblazers in the game, and quite frankly, one of the worst characters I've ever seen in an anime mobile game.
How could they do this to us? How could they show us such a great character, but curse her to be the very downfall? Like, I don't know how they could do this to her. Everybody was so hyped for her. I don't understand why they would do this to their loving fans. Why would Hoyoverse just cuck us like this? Why would they just sentence us a bad character? Not to take our money, right? Not because people like her design, so they'd spend money on her. Hoyoverse, not my Hoyoverse, not my Hoyoverse. They would never do such a thing. It must just be bad luck. Everybody has a bad design every now and again, so maybe it was an accident.
However, what followed Jimmy Chungus was none other than the omnipotent Silverwolf, who to this day is very powerful. Now fast forward to Zenless, and we see that ZHU YUAN is not only the second banner in the game, but she even shares the same last name as John Yuan.
Oh
And then we
no,
see the
they're
agent that
related.
follows her is Ching Yi, who appears to be a short omnipotent lesbian similar to Silverwolf, and I think it should just be obvious what the pattern is here. But then even the game's story goes out of its way to hint to us that Ching Yi is the superior officer to ZHU YUAN. First, even though ZHU YUAN in name is technically the captain of the squad, she addresses Ching Yi as senpai in the Japanese dub.
先輩、そういう曖昧な言い方をしないでください。
So ZHU Yuan is the face. She doesn't actually do anything. Everybody's trying to make her look good and everything, but she doesn't actually do anything. It's the little midget that's the mastermind, the schemer, the one that's really powerful. I see. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Yongo. I'm picking it up.
エロ
Pero, pero ring.
やめてください、先輩。
This implies that ZHU YUAN recognizes Ching Yi as the more experienced officer, and we see this superior combat
Unfortunate.
experience in the final escape cutscene in the Chapter 2 interlude of the story. So this cutscene here where the two officers are fleeing enemies, and we see already, you guys, Ching Yi is just blocking bullets in a major way,
You know,
and
I
ZHU
did
YUAN
notice
is
that.
just fleeing. So they're able
I do notice the Chang Yi. She really does take point a lot of the time. She does a lot of the heavy lifting. So I get what he's saying. I'm really understanding. I'm understanding where he's going with this. At first I was a little concerned, but I think I'm on his side now.
able to get through here because of Qingyi, and then if I rewind, yeah, here. So they're about to jump, and we see Qingyi is nodding because she is signaling Zhu Yuan
Yeah,
to jump
telling her
with
what to
her.
do.
And Zhu Yuan looks pretty frightened. We even see she closes her eyes out of fear here. So they
Like a
jump
little.
here, and then if you watch that, you see Qing Yi is the one pulling Zhu Yuan there. So Qing Yi is basically acting as the fulcrum and exhibiting the required torque to pull off this
What a
amazing
pause.
stunt. Like, look at Qing Yi's face. She is clearly locked
She's
in a
dead
major
set
way.
determined. You see that? That was straight up determination. She knows what she's doing. She's got a goal. She's going right here. I was told what to do. I will nosedive to death if I have to.
Major way here. And Zhu Yuan looks like she's about to piss herself. And there it is. So we just see from this cutscene that Zhu Yuan was being clearly outclassed to the highest
try and
level,
catch
as
herself.
she
She
just very
slides.
obviously relies on Qing Yi to bail her out of that situation. Now, as for Zhu Yan's numbers, they are rather lackluster from what I found. Compared to our current only other limited attack agent, Ellen Zhou, the overpowered hoe, Zhu Yuan's hit combo is just far worse. First off, Ellen Zhou does her combo in 3 hits, while Zhu Yuan takes 5 hits. But then if we just add up
Ooh.
all the numbers from Ellen Zhou's 3 hits compared to Zhu Yuan's 5 hits, we see that Ellen Zhou still does far more damage, even though she's hitting the enemy less. Then
Ooh, the
Ellen
numbers
Zhou's
don't
dash
lie.
attack also does far more damage than Young Zhu's in both days and damage, and Ellen Zhou's chain attack also does more damage, and so does her ultimate and dodge counter, and yeah, you get the point.
Oh, that
On
is
every ability,
awful.
Ellen Zhou just
She just really got the short end of the stick. She does not even compare on any individual level. Ah, that is unfortunate. A good thing I got Ellen though. It's a good thing. Now I don't need Su Yuan. I could save up for someone like maybe Jane Doe. Hopefully she will be a good character. But I'll have to wait for Yongo to decide that for me, because I have no brain by myself.
just does far more damage than Zhu Yuan when you look at the data. And sure, Ellen Zhou is an overpowered hoe, and maybe she has set the standards too high for attack agents. But the fact is, the standard is set nonetheless, and Zhu Yuan absolutely does not reach it. Not even close. Honestly, Ellen Zhou is so
Honestly,
much better
pitiful.
than Zhu Yuan that it might reach the same levels of humiliation that Jimmy Chungus experienced with Zila on the
Not
Star Rail
Chungus.
launch. Then, as for her playstyle, I just found Zhu Yuan to feel rather wacky and clunky. Like you are a ranged agent, but then she will randomly like sprint in and become melee, which leads to you just getting hit unexpectedly.
I think the idea around her kit is that she was like an all-arounder. Is that she had high damage, she could do range, do melee, it had all this extra stuff, and you could really go in between. But if you do everything all right and nothing great, then it just leads you to be a worse character overall, unfortunately.
She just kind of dictates how she moves herself, and I just feel like I'm not really in control when playing her. And overall, I just found Zhu Yuan to feel rather clunky and too hard to execute combos on because of this. Anyways, I think that's all I want to say. Overall, it's just a very obvious bait banner, as Homoverse has always done with the second banner in the game, and this will just give us more time to save for the omnipotent Qingli.
Oh man, it's really upsetting to hear, but if I were to trust anyone's words, it would be Yongo. He never lies. He doesn't try and make money off of YouTube videos. It's purely to educate the sheep masses, the brainless masses among us. And I truly appreciate it, because without him, I wouldn't know how to play these games. I wouldn't know how to breathe. I am an empty vessel, and I truly appreciate him telling us what to do and how to think. Because honestly, thankfully, because of him, I'm not gonna pull on Zhu Yuan. I know a lot of people have pulled on him. I know Mr. Pokey has burnt all of his gems and is right there on breaking free to play. And Tectone has just given up. He got 2 in 110 pull, so everybody's pulling on her, obviously for content. I am going to be saving my my chromes, polychromes, whatever they're called, my gems. I'm going to be saving for Jane Doe, because I think she's going to be the next overpowered unit that we need. I know he was talking about the little girl. I don't want her. I don't want to pull for any tiny premium characters. I want Jane Doe. And I will get Jane Doe because by the time I get there, even if I fail my 50-50, I will be able to get to the 50-50 again. And I'm going to make sure of that. So thank you all for watching. I truly appreciate it. Have a good one. Peace.